30 unanswered Pokemon questions, and I am gonna answer them all right now.
Let's begin by going back to the good old Game Boy days. Here are
Let's
3
do it.
examples of questions fans have had since Generation 1. You've heard them a billion times, so I'm just gonna roll right through them. What is the Pokemon world?
Bad.
It's been answered before. Junichi
Yes.
Masuda has stated that Game Freak doesn't think of the Pokemon world as an alternate Earth, because that would limit the scope of possibilities. To him,
It is an alternate Earth, though. I mean, we got like the America, we got the Hawaii, we got the Kanto, we got the Johto, we got the Hoenn, we got the Sinnoh, which are all locations in Japan. So I mean,
yet different
throw
planets
it out there.
where our problems don't exist. Masuda has also answered another
Problems don't exist? Wait, so they're not transphobic? Woo! Let's go! Yo! Thank you, Pokemon World!
What a fucking Weasley.
Pokemon World is not transphobic! Confirmed by TrueGreen7.
popular question. What's inside a Pokeball? It basically creates a comfortable environment. The stronger the ball, the more luxurious the environment is.
That's what a luxury ball is all about, and that's not strong. Do you think that when you go into the Pokeball, they have like a settee and a TV, and if you get a Master Ball, you get like a Nintendo Switch, but if you only have a Great Ball, you get a GameCube instead?
A Master Ball simulates
And then if you're only in a Pokeball, then you get a stick, 2 sticks to rub together for entertainment.
a 5-star hotel and spa. But there are questions that the staff hasn't answered. We all know that Pokemon wars have existed throughout history, but was there a recent Pokemon war? In Gens
Yeah,
1
Surge
and 3,
was literally in it.
Lieutenant Surge famously exclaims how Pokemon saved him during the war.
Pre-watched.
What war? Is it the reason Kanto has relatively less adult male trainers? Even if this may have been retconned in later generations, it would still be pretty neat to know what war Lieutenant Surge was originally referring to.
See, I don't think Game Freak put enough thought into Red and Blue to canonically put less adult male trainers because they were all genocided in a
There
war.
are a few iconic theories that can be easily debunked by a snap of Masuda's fingers. Fans have been speculating about the death of Blue's Raticate for decades.
He's dead.
While to me,
He is
it's
dead.
clear that he simply switched Raticate out for a stronger Pokemon in pursuit
No.
of power.
No, he's dead. I killed him. It wasn't my Pokemon either. It was me. With a gun.
I do wonder what Game Freak's actual explanation is. Lots of fans would love to know if Gengar truly is Clefable's shadow, if there's a genuine reason why Venonat and Butterfree look so similar, and if trait evolutions truly do inherit the traits of Pokemon they are being traded for in a last-ditch effort to impress their trainers.
I always loved that theory. That's really cool. That theory is, the theory is when the Pokemon gets traded away, they're like, oh no, I failed my trainer. Why did I fail my trainer? And then like Graveler and Machoke are being traded past each other. So Machoke grabs the forearms of Graveler because he thinks that the trainer wants the Graveler more. He's like, look, I have 4 arms now. Take me back. It's so sad. Oh, it's so depressing.
Questions about the older generations that fans constantly ask, but a lot of them have already been answered or are simply understandable through context. We all know by now that Mew isn't under the truck, and that Lavender Town Syndrome is just a myth, but there are still some unexplained phenomena in later generations. So let's finally skip to the most mysterious games in the franchise. Pokemon X and Y. It's almost been 10 years and we still don't know who or what the Lumiose Ghost Girl is. Why are we not the ones? This mystery—
You're not the protagonist. For once, you're not the protagonist. How's it feel? Are you upset because you're not the main character?
has creeped out fans for a decade and has increased the popularity of the Hex Maniac trainer class. It's clear these games—
I mean, I think she was going to be popular anyway. Dudes love emo girls. Everybody loves emo girls. She's a little bit crazy, a little bit wacky, a little bit Harley Quinn going up in there.
relatively
He was going to be
unfinished
popular
with plot
regardless.
storylines and content. We all want to know if the locked entrances to Kalos's power plant was some kind of indication that there was more to this location. Perhaps an actual Volcanion event. And what about Koroe Station? Where does it—
This always pissed me off. This train station that goes nowhere always annoyed me. Like, you can't just put a train station in a game and expect it not to go where. I love trains, man. I just want to go on a nice train ride.
Many fans assumed Galar, and now they're speculating that we'll be able to go back to Koroe in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It's pretty
Trains are just
coincidental
cool.
that Kalos is geographically close to 2 other regions and has a secret station that could potentially let us travel outside of the region.
People thought that in Sword and Shield as well. They're like, oh, it's like the train that—
Biggest question, fan.
People think it's like the Eurostar because it goes from England to France, and that's what it could have been, but it never was. All it was a
Fans
disappointment.
constantly ask regarding Generation 6 is where's Pokemon Z? X and Y would have greatly benefited from an updated version.
They forgot about it.
Did Game Freak simply want to debut a new generation for their 20th anniversary? Is that the reason Zygarde's lore was shoved into Sun and Moon instead? Probably.
I bet it was a situation where they made it to like Ultra Sun and Moon, and then someone was like brought out the file that Pokemon Z was supposed to be and was like, did we ever actually make this? And everyone's like, oh fuck!
I don't know. That's kind of the running theme of the video. I don't know the answers to a lot of these things. There are a ton of questions regarding specific Pokemon or groups of Pokemon. Of course, you could kinda ask Game Freak questions about literally every single Pokemon. I'd love to know the accurate origins of the entire Pokedex, but here are the Pokemon most fans have been inquiring about for generations. For example, is there really a starter Pokemon pattern?
No, there's not. There's never has been. I think this theory's dumb.
Fans have a theory that grass starters are all based on extinct animals. Fire starters are—
Wait, I didn't know that one. I only know the Zodiac one. Wait, that all extinct animals, that's actually kind of cool. But it's Totara's a turtle,
all based on the Zodiac, and water starters are all based on weapons.
They're all based on weapons? Well, I mean, vaguely, kinda. Inteleon's not based on a weapon. Inteleon is based on a spy or a secret agent that technically does wield a weapon, but isn't based on a weapon.
Some loose exceptions, this kinda works, but some are a stretch, while others are pretty explicit. It would be phenomenal if Game Freak made it somewhat official. What does Diglett's body look like? Is Dugtrio just 3 dudes cuddling? We may never know. What's
Yes.
Cubone deal? Is it related to—
Yeah, Dugtrio is 3 really buff dudes cuddling with their hands, groping each
Kangaskhan or
other.
not? By now we all know about the Beta Marowak evolution that holds a baby. So Game Freak, just tell us if Cubone is a baby Kangaskhan.
That was
or at
such
least
a
if
sad
Sinnoh is a failed
cutscene.
Mew clone. Masuda did state that he has only recently heard of this notion, at least in an interview that took place like 10 years ago. Perhaps
10 years ago, he recently had a— How could you not hear of that, like, immediately?
because
That's
he wasn't
crazy.
as involved with the designs of Generation 1 Pokemon, or he simply wants to continue the idea that all Pokemon are created individually. That would mean that Masuda also may think the Pokemon that turned into the legendary beasts are also not any Pokemon we know. Pokemon fans till this—
Which doesn't make any sense, because that implies that the Pokemon that turned into the legendary beasts was just Pokemon that there's one of a kind of. Which doesn't make any sense, because in the actual anime, there's like multiple of
They
Raikou.
want
So
to
it's
know
weird.
which
It doesn't.
Pokemon
It's,
became
what's
the
going on?
legendary beasts. Were they dogs, more appropriately cats, or even evolutions? And what the hell are the unknown? I know the
that's
whole point is that
no
they
idea.
are unknown, but why make us collect them and not reveal anything about them?
I think the unknown are supposed to be the biblical representation of angels. So this is apparently what like the Bible representation of angels is supposed to look like. It's fucking crazy. They got this is why I think it is, because it's like all eyes. Biblically accurate angels are insane. They look so wacky. Not gonna lie.
Are the unknown Arceus' arms? What are the 1,000 arms of Arceus? It's revealed in Pokemon Legends Arceus that the Arceus you receive at the very end of the game is just a part of Arceus. Does that mean that Arceus can split itself into 1,000 clones that do its bidding, therefore acting as the arms of Arceus? I like that theory, but I've always enjoyed the possibility of the unknown using their reality-bending abilities to exact Arceus' will, almost like angels. In Unova, the
Oh, he said it! He said the thing that I said! Me and Ron are on the same wavelength. Pre-watch, by the way.
Reshiram and Zekrom split from each other, creating the husk that is Kyurem. But what did the original dragon look like?
I think it's crazy that you can fuse 2 of them together, but not 3 of them together. Like, I have the DNA splices. Why can I not get the original dragon? Because it would be too OP? Because it would
Now,
be,
with
but
the
it would be
possibility
funny.
of even more Pokemon Legends games, fans desire one set in Unova, with the original dragon receiving its debut, in order to answer this decade-old question. What did Genesect look like before it was experimented on? I already die upon looking at its true appearance. What is Eternatus' true form? Out of any legendary Pokemon, I would have bet that Eternatus would have received an original form like Ultra Necrozma. It would have given way more context to the seemingly unconventional Pokemon.
Eternatus' true form is a JoJo stand.
My Pokemon to have skin. And then there is a whole category of Pokemon who hatch or evolve under mysterious circumstances. How is Kangaskhan born with a baby? How does Kadabra get its spoon? Or Machoke's belt? Why not show these Pokemon hatch or evolve without these additions, and then have them appear in battle later? The next
Why does Galarian Yamask evolve after you take a specific amount of damage while going underneath some ridiculous random piece of rock in the wild area? Why? Why, Game Freak? Why did you do that?
category of questions I like to call negative questions. Why wasn't a thing included?
Negative.
For example, many fans have asked why isn't there a bottlenose dolphin Pokemon? Some
Yes, I love
understand that
dolphins.
Japan's controversial dolphin hunting may be a factor. Some don't even ask questions because they assume Gorbis and Lantern are dolphins, even though they're fish. And some are satisfied by Kyogre, the orca, which is technically a dolphin. Many fans,
It's a killer
including
whale.
myself, constantly ask why there are no difficulty settings. A simple option to
They've literally done this in the past, except they made it so convoluted to unlock. If you want to get the challenge mode in Pokemon Black, you have to beat the game and then trade a key to somebody else and have them trade that back to you. How stupid is that?
Allow us to, let's say, only use the same amount of Pokemon as our opponent, or for the gym leaders to use slightly stronger teams, or something other than the set switch option, which already proves that such a toggleable switch can exist.
I know, I have the answer. Hello, hi. Hello, I have the answer for that one. It's because they don't have to, so they're not going to put in the extra effort because they don't have to because people are going to buy the game anyway.
Why is there no option to turn off EXP share, like in...
So true. Why is there no option to turn off the expansion? I don't understand. It would stop everyone complaining about it. It would stop everyone.
Gen 6 and 7. I understand that Game Freak likes to scale the game according to the EXP share and keep it mandatory like some other RPGs, but the perfect balance was already found, and options or...
You know what I've noticed about Nintendo games is that it is not about player freedom. It is not about making your own choices. It is about doing the Nintendo mandated fun that they have specifically crafted for you to do. Everyone will do the same fun, but you will have a lot of fun. It is good fun, but it is Nintendo mandated with a seal of approval. You have to do it the same way that they want you to.
The illusion of an option between two settings is always better than none.
Except Breath of the Wild.
Becoming more prominent in current generations of Pokemon, why is there no voice acting? We already see some fantastic voice acting in official Pokemon animated short films. It notably...
Okay, you know what? I agree with this one. I don't think that there should be voice acting. I'm glad that Bethesda in Starfield is removing the main character voice actor. I don't really think that we needed a lot of voice acting because...
I'm Gloria. I'm from a small town in Gala called Postwick. Pleased to meet ya. Here, you can have this.
I don't know if the British accent just like hurts me a little bit. It seems so exaggerated and not real. I'm okay with it not being any voice acting. I'm sure this voice actor is a very cool individual, but I don't know, that's not necessary.
Elevates the experience, and fans are at the point where they expect it to be right around the corner. It's not necessary, but Pokemon fans also don't know how to read. Now, based on the pattern Pokemon themselves set of releasing...
When I first played Pokemon, I didn't know how to read. I didn't even know you could buy Pokeballs.
Gens 1 and 2 games on the eShop, Pokemon fans have been wondering, why isn't Gen 3 on the Nintendo eShop yet? It would give Nintendo instant money.
They forgot about it, straight up.
The eShop, and I would easily get Pokemon Emerald on my 3DS or Switch. Oh my god, that would be amazing. It's a no-brainer. It's been 4 years since Crystal was released there. So
4 years.
What is taking so long?
It has been longer since the release of Crystal on the eShop than has actually been in the release of Crystal and Ruby and Sapphire. Or it's the same amount of time. Either way, it's still ridiculous.
8 years after Heart Gold's release for Gold and Silver to be re-released, and it's been 8 years since ORAS was released, so we're just about due. There is another similar question that many Pokemon music fans, including me, have. Why hasn't Game Freak released any official soundtrack since Let's Go Pikachu? They skipped Ultra Sun and Moon, which had some of my favorite tracks. Sword and Shield and Legends Arceus, both with their critically acclaimed music, have no official album in sight.
That's so dumb. It means that everyone has to rely on going to YouTube videos to listen to the music, and then Nintendo also dicks down the YouTube channels of people that upload the OSTs because they just want to freaking listen to the songs, man.
Too complicated releasing Sword and Shield soundtrack when the DLCs were right around the corner? Well, it's been 2 years now. On the visual end, Shiny Hunters have always wanted to know why Game Freak Shiny locks certain Pokemon.
Because no fun allowed. Game Freak says, nope, no fun, no, stop it, stop having fun.
We know that it's because Game Freak doesn't want the color palette of a Pokemon to be different between cutscenes and gameplay.
I think that's an idiot reason.
But why not do the Shiny check before the cutscene? Or better yet, realize that no player cares if their Pokemon suddenly becomes shiny after the cutscene.
Yes, you think that if someone gets a shiny one, they're gonna be like, oh, dude, my immersion in this Pokemon game is broken because it was shiny in a cutscene, or it's not shiny in a cutscene, but now it's shiny in the game. I'm mad about this. No one is gonna be mad about that, Game Freak. No one cares.
It's honestly a wicked surprise. Similarly, I understand that Sword and Shield's DLCs were meant to have a surprising reveal, but the final 3 questions aim at Game Freak's practices and are relatively general. So why didn't Game Freak mention the DLCs during the National Dex debacle?
Because Game Freak has a terrible job always communicating with their fans. They're awful at it. They're so bad. Whenever the community gets mad about something, Game Freak either ignores it or does a really short, terrible job at communicating it. And I understand it's because they're a Japanese company and doing things in translation like that is very difficult. But come on, you could try a little bit harder. It's the biggest media franchise in the world after all.
Backlash in June of 2019 could have been alleviated if Game Freak would have said that hundreds of Pokemon would be gradually added back via DLC. for free. You don't even need to pay for these Pokemon to be accessible. I mean, they must have been planning on releasing the Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra at that point. And in the first place, why are features taken away from every single Pokemon game?
Because of scope creep. You can only have so much stuff in a game, and sometimes bringing back the old features isn't necessarily the best thing to put your resources towards, because they only have a limited amount of time to make each game, and as we know, you gotta release a Pokemon game every year or we're gonna run out of mega doo-doo profits.
This was technically answered. Game Freak likes to make it so that every generation has its own unique features, which allows fans to go back to certain games if they want to experience those additions. They believe that if every game kept the gimmicks of the previous one, then there would be no reason to return to older regions. Now, I understand that the game would be bloated if it wasn't streamlined to have the necessary features.
I agree. I think a game that has every single variant of battle and every single like Z-moves and Dynamax and Mega Evolution, the Scarlet and Violet gimmick, and also an open world, and also the Pokathlon and the Battle Frontier, it would be a little bit too much. But maybe you can make an online battle feature that contains all of these features so that you can play online using your own rule sets with the features that were in the previous generations. Maybe like a Pokemon Showdown, but officially licensed. Hey, that'd be pretty cool.
But iteration is always a better practice than completely replacing beloved features. I mean, Game Freak already does that. Every generation has beloved additions that have stayed with the franchise till this day. But I don't need to tell you that the inclusion of rematches, the Battle Frontier, secret bases, seasons, and even Mega Evolution would all garner almost unanimous praise. And
seasons are kind of sleeper, not gonna lie. Also, secret bases, I don't think anyone cared about that past like the first 30 minutes.
Finally, why is Game Freak so secretive about beta Pokemon? Over the last few years, it seems like beta Pokemon have gotten leaked to consistent and unified excitement. Everybody loves checking out beta Pokemon. Everybody except for Game Freak. It makes sense for a company to keep its experimental and underdeveloped copyrighted material under wraps, but why not treat fans to some of this material here and there, decades after the release
So, no, that's why, because some of them look like the Regigigas, that's why.
of these games? They've done it for Red and Green's beta, and they
Oh my
technically
God.
showed off a primitive Gold and Silver demo more than 20 years ago, but I guess beta Pokemon from Gens 3 onward are simply way more classified. I'm sure the artists themselves would show us more behind-the-scenes work if they could, but considering Pokemon is the highest-grossing media franchise of all time, the legality of exhibiting information is way more rigid. But I'm sure there are way more questions you'd like to ask Game Freak. Perhaps
There would be a lot of questions. Unfortunately, we can't answer them today, but what we can do is subscribe to True Green 7. Thank him so much for allowing us to react to this, and also subscribe to more Patterrz so you don't miss a video in the future.